Hello, welcome to part 2 of my run in the BOM local tournament. This video is about the challenge, where I brought my team from the Zwolle local tournament as well. I also played a cup here. You may have seen it in the previous video. That was with a double charm team actually, which I got to second place with. I will post all the relevant links to the information that comes with these locals. And for now, we are going into these battles because, again, we had a lot. My first round in the challenge is against Arcania Death. This gives me a little bit of a similar vibe of when I played against the Tactical in Zwolle. Basically, it's that charge bug that my team doesn't do well against, but I do have his prime counter to Talonflame covered quite well, right? The Azumarill, I have the Lantern, I have the Abomasnow, and I have the Cresselia. So I felt pretty comfortable in this matchup. Instead of Poliwrath, there's also Medicham, which is a little bit unfortunate because it makes my Vigoroth worse, but it's my Cresselia that does very well there. I'm not sure how much he told me. He didn't PvP as much, but he's trying to be to improve. And yeah, fortunately, he catches a pretty tough lead here. He runs Azumarill into Abomasnow. Now, this is not per se the worst matchup. I believe he had a little bit of a lag here, but the thing with Azumarill in this matchup is if you're on even energy, Abomasnow will outpace just barely those energy balls. And that makes this a pretty tough zero shield scenario for Azumarill because look at how much HP Abomasnow has. Will knock out the Azumarill unless he shields, which he does, and I'm very fine with this. I even get the attack drop, which is very fortunate. Because this allows me to Shadow Claw that Azumarill easier down with Sableye. He stays in a little bit, then he swaps out a little bit late, and this gives my Sableye such a big head start against the charge bug. A little bit of a weird visual animation there, which unfortunately allows him to sneak a Volt Switch in. It's okay though, my Sableye still has quite some energy here, and I should be able to get the charge security here with that charge bug. And then a 2-shield Talonflame. What is going to knock it out at this point? He barely has a Azumarill left. I believe he has like 3 bubbles on it. And then nothing really takes on my Talonflame anymore at this point. Going to farm down this charge bug with the Talonflame. Doesn't get to an attack anymore as well. See what's in the back. I predict the Registeel here. It's actually a Medicham. Just as fine, really. I went quite weak to a Cresselia lead. Didn't matter at this point. And he swaps back in the Azumarill. However, Azumarill barely not able to get to another charge stack. And then I have 2 shields still. Talonflame has another Fly here. Fly is so good against Medicham, it will knock it out. And yeah, I won this matchup 2-0. Then he played a third game just for some practice. And he actually did manage to win that one. So it actually came to a 2-1 score. Round number 2, I play against Snailman. This is basically a replay from Zwolle, where he had Swampert instead of Whiscash. Kind of unfortunate. I like Swampert more. Whiscash is just straight up better right now in current meta. The first game he won, he played ABA to Cresselia. He led Whiscash with Medicham in the back. Unfortunately, I didn't expect the Medicham in the back, so I saved with my Vigoroth, and he caught it with a Medicham, and then process on Cresselia. Anyway, let's go on game number 2. We have Sableye into Registeel. Fine for me. I brought my core in the back, Sableye, Abomasnow and Talonflame. So I'm like, first thing I think, I'm like, and I tell him that. I tell him like, now I got you. I'm just going to win switch here, hopefully, and then have my Abomasnow on the Wish guys. I have no idea what could be the third Pokemon. I would expect something like Frostlass maybe, but maybe not. That would be ABA to Talonflame. That would be crazy, right? At this point, I already find this team composition a little bit whack. Maybe it's Mantine in the back. That would be difficult. Both Pokemon that I have in the back lose to Mantine. And I believe it's also Bubble Beam Mantine, so that makes it a little bit iffy with the Talonflame. Going to farm down this Registeel, and let's see what comes in. I expect the Whiscash. This is the Whiscash. I make a misplay here. I should go for a return as I only get to 1 charge attack. I'm hoping he shields this regardless, knowing it could be a return. No shield set. He puts all his shields on his backline, which I find interesting. Going into Abomasnow, in comes Medicham. I have Talonflame here. I am a shield down though. This used to be an okay matchup, but I make a huge misplay. I should have thrown the Flame Charge immediately, because now you'll find that I'm going to do something I have not done yet so far in these local cups. Let's see. I'm going for the Flame Charge now, and this is kind of necessary to throw now because I'm at 100 energy. And at this point, I'm like, I don't think I'll get to another 2 more Fly here. So I'm going for the full Incinerate down. But because I didn't throw my Flame Charge earlier, I get in way less damage than I could have with the Flame Charges. So then I miscount, so I tried to time well. I'm at 2 Flies now, and he gets to the third Ice Punch. This will knock me out. And because I didn't throw my Incinerators earlier, I can't even salvage it, because he even will get to a Dynamic Punch, and this will knock out my Abomasnow. I threw this game very hard. I had good alignment, almost got his ABA, but yeah, he just did what he needed to do, and I didn't. So yeah, well-deserved win. Can't be mad about that one. I can still get into Top Gun, however. So we go to round number 3. my third round, I play against JoJo VH for the third time, but this time with my other team. And this is a significantly better matchup for her, because now she has the charge bug, which I don't have a hard answer to. Crazy, actually, that when I didn't see any charge bug in the cup, that I see all of them in the challenge ones. I was like, okay, no one's using charge bug, I can use this team. Anyway, we're going to look at game number 2. I won the first game against JoJo VH in this round. We have Cresselia into Charjabug. It's actually the worst matchup, one of the worst Pokemon that I have against Charjabug. But let's see if I can cook something here. I'm actually going to catch on Sableye. Sableye really just a damage spawns here. Not really sure if I can bait anything out with this. Worst case is Lickitung that answers it, but it's Poliwrath actually. I will outpace to a foul play, which is resisted. I'm actually going for the Charge Attack Perodia, which I do win. This is resisted. We'll still do a nice chunk though, and especially if she fully charges it, I'm so fine with this. Because then it will knock me out actually. It's an Icy Wind. She does fully charge it. I bring the Cresselia immediately. Maybe I should have waited my clock a little bit. Gonna throw right before the next Icy Wind. This Grass Knot will knock it out. I'm pretty close to a Moonblast as well for that Charge Bug. What I actually wanted is, like, I swapped in quickly, so I was hoping I could lock her in with the Talonflame for a little bit, but now my own clock is not even up. So I'm gonna go for the Moonblast. Does a good chunk of damage. Didn't expect her to throw immediately. She does though. This is super effective. Gonna do a chunk, but I'm fine with my Talonflame. Hopefully it's not Dragonair, but it's Clodsire in the back, which is still not great. But if she doesn't time her moves optimally here, I should be able to perhaps land this Flame Charge, then Incinerate down. Stones will definitely knock me out. You could have done 2 Poison Stings for this 1 Incineration. Did only 1, so that's a good start for me. And at this point, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to go for the Flame Charge. That means that I want to Incinerate entirely down. If I want to get to more Charge Attacks, I went for the Fly here, but I went for the Flame Charge. And here I get 4 free turns. She did 3 Poison Sting for 2 Incinerate. Ideally, you want to do 4 Poison Sting for 2 Incinerate. And that allows me to farm this Clodsire down entirely. Now, Charge Bug comes back in. I will do... If I don't throw here, they will actually knock me out before the Incinerate lands. So I do want to do that. And I swap into Cresselia to catch here. This was not necessary. In fact, this actually makes it dangerous. Because if she gets more Volt Switch in, maybe she can even win it. But she does undercharge enough. Even if she did, I would have gone to another charge stack. This Incinerate will take out. And that means I win against JoJo VH for the 3rd time. I'm so sorry. Anyway, moving on to round number 4. I'm 2-1 right now. I need another win to get to the top cut of this challenge. Round number 4 is against mine Shuk, and I know he's a really good player, so this was gonna be a little bit scary, but I have one advantage here, which is the Abomasnow. Good against Azumarill, fine against Lickitung, good against Lantern, very good against Gligar, and very fine against Cresselia. I believe this was a future side Cresselia as well. Not per se better, but I expected a lot of Lickitung, Vigoroth, and Cresselia here from him, because he needed to answer my Abomasnow quite well here. I also don't really fear his water type, so I also was pretty confident with my Talonflame, because, like, you can't really bring both waters against Lantern. Anyway, let's take a look at these battles. He probably, if he's watching back, he probably won't like this battle. Because this was an interesting one. Anyway, I need to win this round to qualify for the top cut. So, very important matchup for me. Otherwise, yeah, well, I mean, I still had 40 points from the Go Cup at this point. And I just want to... We have Lantern into Lantern. Is this great? Probably not. And the reason why is because I expect Vigoroth in the back. He's weak to Abomasnow in the lead. I don't like this at all. But I just want to stay in for a little bit. Swapping in Sableye is a little bit iffy here because Lantern is so bulky. It's just going to throw a Surf and dip out. And I'm probably in a worse spot. So, gonna throw a Thunderbolt first. And I noticed I lost Charge Attack priority. So I'm actually gonna throw the Surf right before the Thunderbolt. He knows this is a Surf, so doesn't need to shield this. And that's exactly what I want. Because what I want now is to farm this down entirely with a Abomasnow. Which is what I'm going to do. And he's staying in. And this already makes... I already know it's gonna be Vigoroth in the back. I already know. I'm looking at the top right. I'm waiting for that normal type to come in. So yeah, here we go. I see the normal type. It's Lickitung actually, and he swaps in Cresselia. This was very fortunate for me. I may not have won if he stayed in. I'm pretty sure I would not have won. I believe this was a future side Cresselia as well, so I don't need to shield any of these attacks. They won't. Oh, I mean, I think they do as much about as a Power Whip, but it doesn't really matter. Sableye just hangs on easy here. I don't even have to throw. I'm just going to farm this down entirely and throw all that energy into the Lickitung. Then I have energy on a Abomasnow, so I can just Icy Wind and just debuff it all the way. It's fantastic. Going for the foul player. I may be able to get to a return as well. Because Licks, they don't add up as quickly. I'm going to go for the return here. Knowing I only get to 1 at charge stack here. Gonna go for that return. And we'll do a solid chunk. But I think at this point he's like, yeah, this does the most damage out of anything anyway, so I'm just gonna shield all of it. Ice Wind comes in, this will debuff the Lick Tongue massively. I just get away here really fortunately. If I stayed in, I still would have won. But I just expected that Vigoroth so much. I don't know why he didn't bring it in game 2 either. Ice Wind just going to debuff this, and then Body Slams won't do much anymore. I do shield. But yeah, at this point, Energy Ball will knock it out. And this was the first game, and obviously he doesn't like that switch. I didn't like my switch either. Worked out well for me in the end. And then in game 2, I believe I just had a really good alignment there with like a Abomasnow on his Cresselia. He swapped out, and he had Azumarill later. I had my Vigoroth on his Licky Tongue. He didn't bring Vigoroth again in game 2 either. Yeah, I win round number 4, and I am the top seed. Actually, no, not the top seed, because there's someone else for. I am in the top cut in the challenge. So yeah, now I am in the top cut of this challenge. Notice how my room gets from bright to dark and dark to bright. It's basically because I've been recording all over the place, and it's dark here after 4 p.m. or something here in the Netherlands. Actually annoying. Anyway, I am here in the finals now. In the challenge, that means I am guaranteed to have 10 points. I can get up to 15 points. It's not as much as a Go Cup, but you know, I'll take anything I can get. I'm in the top cut with Statistan, with Kuifje00 again, and with Snailman, who beat me earlier in the Swiss. Now let's take a look at these final rounds. In round 1 of the finals in the challenge, I play again against Kuifje. He won the Go Cup before. I beat him in the Swiss. He beat me in the finals of the Cup. And this time he's getting to play my other team, which I don't like per se. More here, I don't really have a lot of safe options here. In fact, I like Sableye if it wasn't for that Guzzlord. Guzzlord kind of problematic for my team, especially in combination with that Azumarill. So I actually like my matchup here even less than with my previous team. This team is quite good, actually. I think only Registeel might be a little bit a flaw of his team, but then he has a Skeledirge and Vigor with Shield also managed fine enough. Lantern too. So hoping to, you know, do well here and beat him this time, because man, I'm having a tough time against him. He's very good. Yeah, anyway, for game 1, I believe he RPS'd me very well. I lost CMP with my Vigoroth in the lead, so I know that I don't like my Vigoroth lead there as well. So I'm gonna lead the Sableye. This is actually the lead that I expected, this or Skeledirge. But I'm also expecting Skeledirge in the back, so I'm not very happy with that. Gonna throw the Foul Play to do a nice chunk of damage, and then swap in the Vigoroth, hopefully baiting out that Skeledirge. But the thing I dislike about Skeledirge so much, which makes it so good as well, is that disarming voice coverage, because that's super effective on my Sableye as well. He's actually gonna go for another body slam here. I didn't expect that. Definitely maybe want to throw my attack there, but it's fine. I have a lot of energy for whatever comes in next. He's gonna let himself get farmed down, so he's not switch locked against whatever I bring in later. But if I get 2 charge stacks off, I'm very fine, because then the clock will be up. Anyway, in comes the Skeledirge. That means my Cresselia now is free from the Skeledirge. I'm faking a Rock Slide here, as you can tell by my swipes, and he actually does beat the body slam, thank god. Maybe it wasn't necessary. I think I may have gone into this Rock Slide regardless. Anyway, Rock Slide's also shielded now. I don't know what to do with that. I don't like to swap out, because then my Cresselia might be locked on this later. But now he has energy, and it's dangerous. It's really dangerous. Shielded Disarming Voice here, won't knock out yet. And he actually swaps out without an attack. I make sure I swap out with an attack, and now it comes down to a very meticulous play. If I Moonblast this Guzzlord, it will knock him out in 1 charge stack. But if I do that, the Skeledirge will farm me down, come out with a Disarming Voice, will likely win charge stack priority, even though I know he has a really good Skeledirge. But I don't want to take the chance. My Sableye is also quite good. And as you see, I undercharge just slightly there. This charge stack will knock me out. Ideally, I want the simultaneous knockout, but it is what it is. Gonna try to go for the Grass Knot, which actually is a blessing that I didn't, because he was 1 Incinerate of his charge stack. Gonna go for the Foul Play immediately, and this should knock out the Skeledirge. We were actually a little bit confused, because he thought he had the Disarming Voice. He checked his recording later. So I checked PvPoke real quick to check, do I win charge stack priority or not? But yeah, it seemed that he didn't have the Disarming Voice, so wasn't necessary. At this point, the score is 1-1 in game 3. I caught him on his ABA with Guzzlord lead, Azumarill in the back. I had Abomasnow lead, and I had Lantern against Azumarill and Skeledirge in the back. So that was a very good call on my side. He didn't expect my Abomasnow after he brought Skeledirge and Vigoroth twice. Did he bring it twice? He brought him twice. All right, let's head to the finals of the challenge now. In the finals, Snailman awaits me, who beat me in the Swiss earlier. I also played him with this team in Zwolle, where I beat him 2-0. My Vigoroth popped off there, so definitely expect him to expect my Vigoroth. But just like in round 1, that didn't work as well for me. It's basically the 3rd time he plays against my team. This time he has Wishcash instead of that Swampert that he had in Zwolle. In game 1, I called his lead. I got the Cresselia on his Wishcash. Then I had my Talonflame on his Registeel. And I had Sableye on his Leaky Tongue. But that's not a great matchup. However, the combination of Cresselia and Sableye was a little bit too much. I played a little bit a soft ABA to Lickitung in that regard. Because if Lickitung basically was gone, my Sableye was just very free. So I was fine with almost every single. Cresselia into Whiscash. Again, I call his lead again. I was like, you know, I've been changing my leads a lot. This time I'm not going to. In comes Frostlass. I bring in the Talonflame. I'm expecting maybe a Medicham in the back. Perhaps trying to bait out my Sableye. Perhaps trying to bait out my Talonflame. I don't know. But I felt like I just want to bring Talonflame in there. Could have done Sableye as well. And he throws only one Power Snow for this Incinerate. And what does this do? He needs 2 more. And he won't get it now. He won't make it. If he did 1 more Power Snow, he would have gone to another Avalanche and actually got a shield advantage. Now, my Talonflame will get to 2 fly here. And look at this. Boosted fly will do so much damage to this Whiscash. Just right before the red there. And then I get to another fly. If you want to keep Whiscash, you gotta respect this. And whatever's in the back, it doesn't have any fast stick pressure on my Talonflame either. The best is Mantine, and it will still have to eat 1 or 2 fly from the Talonflame. So he has to shield that. Now I'm a shield advantage. A shield up. And I have a good matchup here as well. Let's see what he's going to do. He's actually going for a Scald here. Trying to get a debuff. Doesn't really matter. I'll likely switch out anyway. Even if it is a Lickitung. Which it is. So I swap in Sableye. And I know I get 3 foul play here no matter what. Yeah, just going to go for the first one here. And he knows. Foul plays are just going to add up so much. And then I still my Cresselia as well. Almost full health. That's pretty close to a grass. Not any top left. So at this point, I won the challenge. So that was my run in the cup and the challenge. I gained 55 points in total. I'm now at 235 points in total. And I need to get to 400 to qualify for the World Championship. So getting closer there. And really look forward to the next local. I hope you liked this video, that it was useful for you. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.